When you're ready, go ahead, close your eyes for a few minutes with me. Start to relax your body a little bit more and see if you can let yourself get quiet. And one of the ways we get quiet, a Zen teacher taught me this, is that you start to recognize the quiet that's already here even before your mind is quiet. It's almost like when you walk into the ocean, all you can see is the top of the water that's choppy, but the moment you get in, you realize underneath it's quite calm. So on that top 10%, 20%, it's might be noisy, might be choppy, and underneath that, there's a really deep well inside of every single person that's quite calm. So see if you could tap into that in your body, not intellectually, but actually just sense it. Breathe a bit deeper and slower. Let yourself just relax into your being for a moment. And I want you to just start to draw your attention and awareness into the center of your head. Just like if your head was, if there was a room inside, I want you to just find the light switch and just turn on the lights. And we're going to do something just very specific in this meditation. To go too wide would we would need a lot of time and classes together. So very, very specific. So I want you to just, with the lights on in the center of your head, create a chair or a cushion and just take a seat in the center of your head. And from the center of your head, I want you to just kind of generally notice that there might be lines of energy. We can call them kind of telepathic communication lines going out to all sorts of people in your life, family members, friends, partners, coworkers, just lines of communication. Some of them are well worn over many, many years. The tracks are well laid. Others might be more subtle, might be newer, maybe even more like drawing a line in the sand. They kind of dissolve because they're not very bonded. But I want you to notice that and just choose a line of telepathic communication, a line of energy to someone where you are very well bonded, where maybe in the past there has been some communication at a distance, or you get a sense of their emotional state. So you might just see like that line of energy going out to that person to wherever they are. And that line of energy doesn't have to physically go through all of time and space. So if you're in New York and they're in LA, it doesn't have to go, you don't have to see it like on a map. It's just a line of energy out to their spirit. And if you want, you could, like the way you might clean your computer screen, just take a piece of psychic cloth and just kind of wipe off the channel if there's some static on it or some old energy, some skepticism, some pain. Just see if you can just wipe it off, make it a little bit more clean. So it's more like a like a bullet train in Japan. Very efficient, clean, direct, versus like an old wire somewhere that's gotten worn. You just clean that channel off from you to them. It's a two-way street. And by the way, if this person is deceased, that's fine. If they're a child, that's fine. If it's an animal, that's fine. You can telepathically communicate to any being, any being. This is a form of communication that is not dependent on the physical senses. You could be blind, you could be deaf, you could be nonverbal, you could be angry. Doesn't matter. And then what I want you to do is just write a little note, just like hello or I love you, whatever it is. I forgive you. Maybe it's something playful. Maybe you put it in a canister or into a rose or into a bubble of energy, and I just want you to send it down that line of communication to them. It could also be an image. So you might be someone that communicates through images rather than words. Maybe you just put the image there and you send the image. And just notice how that feels. Notice what that's like. And by the way, you can send a telepathic communication to one person, which is kind of in a narrow, direct sense. But if you're a communicator or a public speaker, you can send the same image or words to everyone at once in a group. Or just starting with one. If they send you something back and you notice an image imprinted in your mind or a thought or a word, that's great. Sometimes it comes through a song, a poem. It what it needs to do is find a way around your conscious mind so it may come through in a different way. Like when two people hear the same song at the same time, just being aware of that. Make sure you're still breathing. And see if you can just embrace and appreciate this ability of telepathy. It's a natural, intuitive ability that every person has, that you have, might be dormant, might be active. And you can practice this over and over again with people, with animals, anyone you want. When I got my cat, she was 3 months old. I telepathically asked her, "What do you want your name to be?" And it was so clear. And she just said, "Imagine." And I was like, "What? That's not a name. Okay, let's do it." You might get a word, an image. So maybe get something back right now. And then when you're ready for the moment, you can let them go. You don't want to be in like an endless loop of telepathy. You can send a message, receive a message, and you can let the person go, continue on with your day. At any point in the day, you can send a message to someone, sense them, see their energy, send an image, send a word, send an intention. And the more you practice this over and over, the better you get at it. The more you go from imagining it or faking it or trying into there's a subtlety that begins to happen. And you start to tell the difference. It's almost like becoming a musician. You start to hear the notes, the harmony. You could differentiate. That's a G, that's an A. There's a subtleness that happens through practice and paying attention. So great job. Nice big deep breaths. Let go of whatever you've been looking at. And then slowly, as you sigh out, you can move your body, stretch, open your eyes. Okay. Good work, everyone.